Good morning, Polars. Jennifer here. I'm in the Pole Studio at Holistic Plus, Monday morning here in the Ozarks. Good seeing you this morning. Drop me an emoji or a comment and let me know you're here, how you're feeling this morning. Good seeing you. So today's masterclass is on how to balance your chakras with a pole. So it's a super exciting topic for me. Holistic Plus is based on balancing your energy and working with the energy systems of your body. So this topic can get really big, but we're going to keep it really generic so that anybody can understand. So I'm just going to jump right in. Let me know that you're here and that I'm coming in okay. I hope the internet is working okay today, so let me know. All right, I want to jump in and start first with some of you I'm sure know exactly what chakras are, and it means something different to every person depending on what you've been trained in and how you intuitively feel your body. So today when I talk about the chakra system, it's an intuitive system. So chakra is Sanskrit for wheel or circle, and in our body we have, let's focus on the 7 main chakras that we have, the ones that you're probably most familiar with. And if you look at the banner behind me, you can see the symbols for all of the 7 major chakra systems. And I'll tell you, when I began developing Holistic Plus 10 years ago, I just called it Holistic Plus. And then when I began writing the guide 3 years ago, I called it Pole Stretching to begin with because I wasn't really comfortable using the word yoga, even though I became certified in yoga in 2003 and I began my training with an actual yogi in 2000. Something about cultural apparition and a white girl calling herself a yogi when I was actually trained by an actual yogi. I was just really careful with, and I honor that culture. And so pole yoga is a blend between pole fitness and yoga. And yoga really just means to commune with one or God or energy. And I do not consider myself any one religion. It's a personal relationship that I have with my creator, and it's a very deep and meaningful relationship. So in pole yoga, we honor wherever you're at with the energy system. And I want to read with you from Energy Anatomy. This is Carolyn Mace, and in the 40-day course, the last 7 days are 7 sessions on balancing each chakra with the pole. So that's really exciting in the course that there's actual full sessions balancing each one. So I want to just tell you what Carolyn has to say about the human energy field. Rather than just focusing on one chakra this morning, I want to talk to you about the whole energy field. Holistic Plus is Pole Plus, a holistic mindset. So let's talk about the whole energy field. And I use this book as a guide in that 40-day course for those 7 sessions. And what she says here is amazing. So she says, everything that is alive pulsates with energy, and all of this energy contains information. While it's not surprising that practitioners of alternative or complementary medicine accept this concept, even some quantum physicists acknowledge the existence of electromagnetic field generated by the body's biological processes. Scientists accept that human body Oh, I'm back. Okay. Because living tissue generates energy. Your physical body is surrounded by an energy field that extends as far out as your outstretched arms and the full length of your body. It is both an information center and highly sensitive perceptual system. We are constantly in communication with everything around us through this system, which is kind of conscious electricity that transmits and receives messages to and from other people's bodies. These messages from and within the energy field are what intuitives perceive. Practitioners of energy medicine believe that human energy field contains and reflects each individual's energy. It surrounds us and carries us with the emotional energy created by our internal and external experiences, both positive and negative. This emotional force influences the physical tissue within our bodies. In this way, your biography, that is, the experiences that make up your life, become your biology. Experiences that carry emotional energy in our energy systems include past and present relationships, both personal and professional, profound or traumatic experiences and memories, and belief patterns and attitudes, including all spiritual and superstitious beliefs. The emotions from these experiences become encoded in our biological systems and contribute to the formation of our cell tissue, which then generates a quality of energy that reflects those emotions. These energy impressions form an energy language which carries literal and symbolic information that a medical intuitive can read. Here is an example of the kind of messages the energy field may communicate. Let's say you had some trouble with math when you were in elementary school. Knowing the fact that 12 makes a dozen would not ordinarily carry an emotional charge such as would alter the health of the cell tissues. On the other hand, if you were humiliated by the teacher because you didn't know that fact, the experience would carry an emotional charge that would create cellular damage, especially if you were to dwell on that memory through adulthood or to use it as a touchstone for determining how to deal with criticism or authority figures or education or failure. An intuitive might pick up the literal image of your exchange with the teacher or any other negative symbol linked to that experience. Positive images and the energy of positive experiences are also held in the energy field. Think of a time when someone praised you for a job well done or a kind act or for some help you gave someone. You feel positive energy, a surge of personal power within your body. Positive and negative experiences register in memory and cell tissue as well as the energy field. A neurobiologist, Dr. Candace Pert, has proven neuropeptides, the chemical triggered by emotions, are thoughts converted into matter. Our emotions reside physically in our bodies and interact with our cells and tissues. In fact, Dr. Pert can no longer separate the mind from the body. She says because the same kinds of cells that manufacture and receive emotional chemistry in the brain are present throughout the body. Sometimes the body responds emotionally and manufactures emotional chemicals even before the brain has registered a problem. Remember, for instance, how quickly your body reacts to a loud noise before you've had time to think. As Dr. Pert said on Bill Moyer's Healing the Mind, clearly there's another form of energy that we have not yet understood. For example, there's a form of energy that appears to leave the body that leaves the body when the body dies. Your mind is in every cell of your body. Moyers, you're saying that my emotions are stored in my body? Pert. Absolutely. You didn't realize that? There are many phenomena that we can't explain without going into energy. So that really, for me, sums up what we're doing here with pole yoga, is that we have all of these memories and thoughts and emotions and traumas stored in our body. And when we move our body, we can actually move these thought patterns, move these trauma patterns, and we can actually reprogram our body with the pole. We can reprogram our body and our mind. So maybe you've listened to Louise Hay or Dr. Joe Dispenza, and you've listened to, or Abraham Hicks, about manifesting and changing your mind. When you combined movement with doing shadow work, with doing manifestation work, with doing the denial work, deciding what it is that you want, denying what it is you don't want, and you do these intentional practices, and you do this every day, you have the power to literally reprogram your energy. And you don't have to say a word to anybody because your energy says it all for you. So that's what this practice is. It's a place for you to go to tune your energy, to move your energy. And I love the picture that Polar Sharon made, gosh, a few years ago now. It's in the book, in the pole yoga book. And that is what it's like. That's home pose. That's what it's like. That's what we're doing when we're coming to the pole. So we're not just getting the physical, amazing physical effects of healing our abdomen from giving birth and getting a better toner booty and having more stamina and feeling more pleasure and being more connected, but it's literally about refining our energy and how we're emitting into this world, into this space. Because when you come to the pole, wherever you're at, you're gonna leave elevated. And that's what living an elevated existence is about. It's not elevated more than Mary or Jim or anybody else. It's about living elevated from where you are, having more love. That's the ultimate goal for me, is just to live more in love with myself and others around me. So that's what this practice is for me. Pole yoga is aligning my body, reminding myself, and having practice. Practice, 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 practice. You can turn the news on every day and they are practicing telling you the sad stories, and they're practicing and practicing and practicing telling that story. Or you go to school and you learn math and you practice and you practice and you practice. Whatever it is that you decide that you want, you practice and you practice and you practice. And that's what's so amazing about Holistic Plus Pole Yoga, is it only takes a little bit of time to consistently practice for really big efforts. So you only have to show up a few minutes to get massive results, because what you're doing is you're working with yourself at a cellular level and you're actually moving your energy. So today I'm gonna take some time and I'm gonna show you a few poses. We're gonna go into the inverted star poses, and what's interesting is right here next to this one is inverted star pose. So I'm gonna show you the star poses because they seem to be a little trickier, but they also, what's really interesting to note about star poses, and keep this in mind, and maybe you've practiced Kundalini yoga, where you alternate both hands or both legs, because you're alternating both hemispheres of the brain and you're activating both sides. So it's like that yin and the yang. So in the star poses, we're doing that. What you do to one side, you do to the other. So I'm going to turn the camera around and I'm going to turn some music on. And if you go to the YouTube, you can go to the DTO Pole Yoga playlist, and DTO is our music partner. Check him out on Instagram. Him and his partner, his wife, are down in Costa Rica right now, and follow their adventures. They're amazing. So I'm going to turn on his music. He actually has a song for balancing each chakra, so you can turn that on while you're doing your pole yoga session. So I'm going to turn that on, and then I'm going to show you how to put these star poses together for just a really quick tune-up. We're not going to do a full session. If you want to do a full session with me, get into the membership and you can unlock the vault with all of the full sessions there. And today is the last day to get that at $49. So I do encourage you, because the price is going up tomorrow. Okay, let's get to the pole. And if you want your pole by Christmas, probably should order it today. It's even getting really iffy if it would make it, because it does take 3 weeks. So do not wait. So I'm going to turn this here. All right, so that you can see. There we go. So you can see everything I'm doing here. Good. Is that good, y'all? Let me know. Is that good? Okay. All right, so we always start in home pose, holding the pole for at least 12 counts. Breathing. Good, and we're going to take a deep breath and we're going to fold forward. As we're blowing it out, we're going to drop the head down into forward fold. And I like to come here before I go into star pose, forward star. And from here, we're going to reach the hand up looking up, and then we're going to drop back. And this is forward star. So you're really open here, really stretching. Breathing, switch. Remember, we hold each side for at least 12 counts. We're coming back into it, stretching those thighs and hips, looking up to the wrists, holding the pole. Remember to wrap your thumb around the pole. Breathing. Good. Now we're going to come up into forward table. And remember, we like to use forward table when we're coming back up. That way we don't come up too quickly. Pressing the chest to the ground and then pull up looking at the pole. Good. Now we're going to gently walk back up into home pose. Good. So that was forward star. Now we're going to come to reverse star, because what we do to one side, we do to the other. So we're going to come to the back side here, holding the pole upside down between the root chakra and the sacral chakra, and then over the head with over the crown chakra, looking up, keeping the elbows coming together, and breathing. We never overextend those arms. We're always just slightly bending the elbow, gently engaging the bicep. Every pose is a really active pose. Good. Take a deep breath. Bring that hand up. Drop it down as you're blowing it out. All the moves are synchronized with the breath. And then we hold for at least 12 counts or 3 deep breaths. And now to come from here, we're going to come into inverted star pose, the one that I showed you in the book. So we're going to go ahead and bring this hand up into reverse, into full moon, pulling the elbows together, taking a moment to pause here. Good. Now come flat foot, and we're going to come into traditional down dog. Good. Looking back at the pole, and this is only if you can do the handstand poses. If not, skip this one. Then we're going to come up the pole, and we're just going to bring the left foot just gently up, and then we're going to drop the right foot over, pointing the toe, gently bending those elbows to engage the bicep. Good. Switch. Drop the head down as you bring the foot down, and then bring the foot over. Deep breath as you're opening the chest, and then blow it out. Good. Now we're going to come into sliding down pose, sliding all the way down. We're going to go into traditional yoga, the plank. And this is like the sun salutation, coming up into cobra. Good. Now we're just going to gently come back. Coming back to the pole, bringing the right hand over, and we're in crouching reverse star here. Coming back, dropping that pelvis forward. Good. Take a deep breath and bring that right hand, the left hand up, and drop the right hand down as you're blowing it out. Breathing. Good, now we're going to drop the left hand down, and then we're going to come down, sitting on the ground, into reverse lotus. Good. And when I come to the end in reverse lotus, I like to come up either on my hands or on my fists, picking my body up off the ground and pushing my back, my bottom, my back, my head into the pole. Breathing. Good. Drop down. And then I like to stretch those wrists. A lot of these poses are strengthening the wrists, getting us ready to go upside down. Breathing. And then shake it out into sitting pose. So that was just a few minutes, and we really worked so many muscles in our body just putting the star poses together. So that's what's exciting about these poses, is that they all work together and link up to make this exciting flow. Last week in the Elevated Existence group, I revealed what I was working on in Playa a few weeks ago in Mexico, and it's really going to bring all of this together. So get in that group if you are interested in learning this practice and integrating this practice into your existence and creating your own flow and having your own space. I am just so excited and honored and humbled and grateful to share this practice with you. I must tell you that it is not without judgment or criticism that I show up here. There are several people in my life that judge me for sharing this practice with you, and I just want to tell you that it doesn't matter if you're afraid of what someone's going to think of you because you have a pole in your space, that's really about them and not about you. And what's interesting is that a lot of the people that were naysayers in my path have actually now come around to accepting pole yoga as an actual therapy and practice, and they didn't have to come around to that spot for me to continue doing what I'm doing and continue sharing how I feel Spirit's leading me to share in that moment. I've had a few people say, oh, I would love to have a pole, but I'm afraid what other people would think or say about me. So I guess I get that, but this is a healing practice, and that's why I love the poster. So if you're feeling any apprehension about putting a pole in your space and what kind of story or message that sends about you, I just want to reassure you that this practice is created from a space of healing the body and aligning the body and really working the body out and moving the body in a way that you're going to be able to do through anything that you go through in your whole life, because it feels good and it's a practice that's going to be here for you for when you go through the bumps, and because they happen. So that's what this practice is about, and that's why I share it, because it's the most beautiful movement practice. I've been into movement practice almost my entire life, and I've tried almost all of them, and this is the only practice that wakes me up thinking about it, and I think about my pole, and I think about how connected I feel to my body, and it helps me move through challenging situations. And now, since I've been helping other women and I see it help them, I'm even more wildly passionate about sharing it and getting these poles into women's spaces so that they have them, because I know we moms, we only have a little bit of time in our day, it feels, to devote to ourselves, and I honor you as a poler when you choose to spend your time with your body and this pole. I'm there with you energetically, and I am just so grateful to share this practice with you, and I really look forward to teaching it. And I'm loving the intensives in the Elevated Existence group as well. You can be a pole master and you can have this practice. It doesn't matter how old you are, and it doesn't matter how much upper body strength you have, and it doesn't matter what your past is. All that it matters is that you're willing to show up and to make a difference in your own life. All right, I look forward to seeing you at the pole next time. Namaste.